transactions. Then from there, we said who are related parties. Then we said a related party is a person or an entity that is related to the entity that is preparing its financial what? Statements. Then A, we started by saying a person is considered to be related party to a reporting entity if, one, that person has control or joint what? Control. And we said control exists when that person controls what percentage? Between 51 to 100%. So if an individual controls 51 to 100% of the shareholdings, then that person is considered to be a related party. If he has a joint control means that person is controlling what percentage? 50% of the shareholdings. Or number two, Roman 2 is saying if that person is having what? Significant what? Influence. And significant influence exists when an individual controls between 20 to 49% of the shareholdings. And Roman 3, we said, if he's a member of the key management personnel of the reporting entity. So if he's a key management personnel, then that person is a related party to the reporting entity. Then we were going to B, sure. So B, what did we say? An entity. So those who are not there, I think you can adjust. An entity, that is B. That is B. An entity is related to a reporting entity. Is related to a reporting entity if any of the following conditions applies. Yes, if any of the following conditions applies. Roman number one. So in that case, the examiner will ask you, state 3 or 4 circumstances under which an entity is considered to be a related party to a reporting entity. So 1, the entity, if the following conditions applies, Roman 1, the entity and the reporting entity, are members of the same group. And the reporting entity are members of the same group. Are members of the same group. Full stop. Number 2, one entity is an associate, or a joint venture. Is an associate or a joint venture of the joint venture of the other entity. Next, number 3, or Roman 3, both entities are joint ventures of the same third party. Both entities are joint ventures. Both entities are joint ventures of the same third party. Next, one entity is a joint venture. One entity is a joint venture. One entity is a joint venture of a third entity. Is a joint venture of a third entity. And the other entity is an associate. And the other entity is an associate of the third entity. Is an associate of the third entity. Tutaziangalia tu baadaye. Next, Roman. Roman 5. The entity is a post-employment. The entity is a post-employment defined benefit. The entity is a post-employment defined benefit plan. Defined benefit plan for the benefit of employees. For the benefit of the employees of the reporting entity. Benefit of employees of the reporting entity. Full stop. Can you check of those 5, what makes an entity to be related?